Hello guys, welcome to benzblog, and today I will show you how we're going to do the load testing for 3 pieces. This is 1000 kVA, and I will just prepare everything until the end of our preparations, and then we'll do the load testing. I will show you also how much the kilowatt, how much the amperage we catch for this one. We are doing this one's 110%. I'll show that, and what is the calibrations we needed if there is some problem, and I hope that everything is all okay and we can finish this one today. So inshallah we can finish this faster as we can, so there's no problem at all. So let's go outside and start to this work. So okay guys, this time we are now preparing for the oil and coolant for our generator, and while I'm doing the installations for the potentiometer. So this one, it takes like around 5 minutes for installing that one, and after that we're going to do the program for this one while we're making. So I will just a little bit I think fast forward for this while we can wait for the rest of the preparations for it. So on the other side, I am going also to do the configurations for the other generator, and then after that we're going to do also the load testing for the first generator. Now I am doing the configurations, which is this is only this one, what we call a shunt trip, and other local initiator, and the other options is audible alarm, and the other is the expansion relay module, which is you can see your own monitoring inside of your control room. Well, after this one I'm going also to configure the other one, and for the total this preparations is like around, we can finish an hour for the preparations for this, but that is only for a single generator, but this one is 3 generators, so it takes around more hours. We need to accomplish that in order to finish the preparations for everything. And you know, if you're doing the commissionings and testings, it is not easy, because you know everything is very you know, the temperature in the wire is very hard, and you know while preparations for the cables and everything, it's very hard also, because it is very heavy for you to prepare for that. And just be patient, then focus to your job, and as long as you can do, it will be done sooner. And don't be in a hurry, because in this kind of job you just only give more patience on it, and be safety. Always think the safety for your team also, to avoid any kind of accidents will happen, and make sure you will always monitor also for the rest of what you are doing, or what we call the preparations for these things. So make sure that before you start the generator also, double check everything, because one mistake makes some trouble for you. Instead of you know, you can finish earlier, it will take more time for you to accomplish your job. You know, always only I can say is always focus on your job, and double check everything before you power up the engine, and make sure that configurations is correct and all the parameters is been checked and the wiring is been checked before you did the load testing. Okay, always remind you that these things is not easy, and you need extra time to do this kind of tests. And also this generator having intelligent battery charger, which is you need to do the configurations also in order to work properly accordingly to your needs. Because this one, for example, this one is we're having the 24 volts, and you have to check the battery, what kind of the battery, in order to do the configurations for that. What is the limitations, what is the current output you need in order to charge your battery, in order to what you want, like it is make a little bit faster or a little bit slower the charging point of your charger. You can do it that one. Just always check the informations of the battery, so you can apply it to do the configurations for that. So make sure that all the parameters for the battery charger is correct while doing the configurations. Okay, as you can see, now I'm doing the configurations for the battery charger, and I'm having minutes for doing that configurations, because I'm checking everything for this, what is necessary for our battery, and what is the perfect configurations for that, in order to satisfy our customer. You're doing your best in order to make your job be correctly, and I'm happy that I'm doing it, and I'm confiding everything that we need in order to have the good product for our customers. So now I'm done configuring the battery charger, but I need to double check and that is see which is what is the missing part of that one, and what is the problem. So in order to do we still have time to fix if there is some missing parts for that. So at the same time, I'm also doing the configurations for the other battery charger and the other on our first generator. As you can see, I am doing for that, and I just only direct right because I have it already in the other generator that is still the same, and the same set points for the battery, so it's easy for you if you have that configuration. So it is not to do it again in order to do the configurations for the rests of the generator. That make it sure, only just make it sure that all the battery is the same, and the parameters for your generators as well. So I think I'm done the configurations for the two generators. So I think for now we're ready for the load testing for this, and I'm trying to check, clear everything for necessary in order to avoid any improper work or improper mistakes that we can happen to our generators. Make sure that before you start up, remove everything like the clothes dusts and the plastics and everything surrounds you. You need to clear that one because this one is engine, and they have some cooling materials that can be sucked off all the dusts and the dirts in your surroundings, and it will cause some problem for that. So double check that also. So for now I'm going to start I'm going to crank up the generator, and then after that I'm going to fully start the generator, and then after that I'm going to adjust the voltage as the customer's needs. So I'm just cranking up. Now I'm going to put the relay for that, our fuel relay, in order to power up our engine. But for that I'm always doing the double check for everything before fire up, because for our safety reason. I think there is we missed something. That's why there is some failure, I think. I see. Yeah, I forgot something to do, some configurations for that. So I'm now again reconfig in order to fix the problem. We need just to fast forward for this. So at this point, guys, we are having some trouble, and generator is not firing up, and we are solving for it. We're checking, we're using the multimeter to check what is the problem for this generator, and everything, the connections, we're going to double check by using the multimeter. We're checking the voltage, we're checking the resistances of each wire. We are checking now the ECM connector, if it is properly connected, and I'm trying to remove that in order to check also the voltage for each line. Now though you cannot see it because I did not bring the camera for there, because we are in hurry for this, and we don't have enough time to bring the camera for that side. So at this point I'm checking the connections and the ECM connections for that. As you can see, we are so busy and thinking what is really is going on, what is the problem for this generator, why it is not firing up. It is cranking, but it is not fire up, so meaning there is missing parts of it. There is missing connections or the voltage going to the ECM. That's why we're now checking. I'm just again crank up why it is happen like this. This is so now, as you can see, I bring the multimeter in order to check the resistance and the voltage of each of the line for this wiring, because we're having such time to check the visual inspections for that, and now we're going to use the multimeter to check easily what is going on this generator. So I check every edge of the line and the wiring. Where is the possibility that can cause this problem to this generator? So I will go and check again on the ECM side. doing these tasks is very difficult sometimes if you're having a troubleshooting. I mean, if you have some trouble that you can encounter. So I'm thinking for a while, what is the problem? I'm back again. Think, what is the problem? I'm checking the module if there is some communications. I'll go and check to the other side. But it's all the same connections and same number installed in the ECM side. So as you can see how difficult it is doing the troubleshooting for the generator itself. Now we're bringing the EST toolkit for the Perkins engine in order to identify exactly what is the fault alarm inside of the ECM. If there is some supply coming, if there is some missing connections and missing informations, what we need to check this trouble. Now is opening the applications for that, if it is communicating also to our laptop. If in case that it's not communicating, meaning there is no supply with it going to the ACM, probably that is the problem. And check again why it's not communicating. So I just a little bit tighten our ECM connections either, yeah. So now I powered up. I only the breaker for our supply for the ECM. Why still not communicating? Again, we're going to check the voltage and resistance of the wiring. As you can see how busy we are doing the troubleshooting for this. So now I take some parts for the this module and some wiring for this. So you can do some missing wire, I think. I need to check. So as you can see, I'm coming back and go to the breaker side. I'm going to tighten the breaker in order to close properly our breaker, because it is not tightened by the guys who are doing the installation for this. They are maybe forgotten to tight, because this breaker is different from the other breaker. You can roll out this breaker and you can roll in also. So it is a removable breaker, as you can see. Now I think it's done, and now I'm going to take the USB connections for our monitoring for inside of the control system. So as you can see, now we are connecting, and I hope also the problem is solved already. So now I'm going to fire up the generator. As you can see, the smoke is going out while I'm controlling inside the control room. And now we are ready to do the load testing for it. As you can see, it's now on the breaker, so it's giving the sign that it is on already. And while I'm doing the monitoring inside of the control room, now it's checking the voltage and everything, if it's in the correct parameters. So now I'm putting the load for this. And say okay. That is okay. So at this point, now we're preparing for the other generator, and we're doing the cabling for it. And while the other guy is preparing for the oil and coolant, and for the rest of it, we are all busy. As you can see, we're all pulling the cables, connecting the fuel lines, intake and the return. For that, I am preparing for it, while the other guy is pulling the cable for the power cabling. And as you can see, they're all in hurry. We're using the ladder because the breaker is not enough for our height. See, now we're going to connect everything for that. And as you can see, temperature is also very high, but it is acceptable, I think. As you can see, all we are very tardy these days. So giving the instructions for the other guys also, what he's doing, while I'm preparing the rest of it also. I'm still removing the cover on the top for the breaker and putting the bolt and nut for our cabling, while I'm busy checking everything which is necessary. So now I give the cable for the lines. This should be one by one because it is very heavy and it is unsafe for us to give all of that, and it is not good for. Okay, just take a little patience for that. At this point, I'm doing manually for the tightening of our bolt nut in the breaker, because it is in the back of our connections. It is not accessible for the air gun we can use for that. So we're done for the rest of the cables, and there's still additional for that. And so now I'm going to start the generator manually, and as you can see, we have 100% of a load, because this one is 1000 kVA only, so that is around 800 kilowatt load. So that's it for today, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the videos and the things we did today, and see you again in my next vlog.